Plus, this afternoon, the first batch of Muslim pilgrims set to depart today from the Yakubu Tali International Airport in Tamale for this year's Hajj pilgrimage.
We'll also be taking you to the center where we know that today is Ghana's biggest night, where the TGMS will be happening to get to know how the mood is panning up for tonight. But before that, we begin the bulletin from here. The Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaleba, has announced plans to meet with metropolitan and municipal assemblies ahead of the 21-day deadline for the removal of all illegal billboards from Accra streets. He warned that if the assemblies fail to comply after receiving a notice following the dialogue, legal action will be taken against them.
The directive follows numerous public complaints about billboards obstructing visibility and creating distractions, particularly near footbridges. According to the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaleba, the initiative aims to enhance road and pedestrian safety in Accra by addressing the high rate of road accidents.
We are meeting the district assemblies. I've written a letter to the local government minister, and that would ensure that all the 29 district assemblies in the Greater Accra region will be met at a meeting. Now, we want to meet them before the deadline of the 21 days. Don't forget that we'll give them 21 days. So at that meeting, we would stress the need for them. And it's not all billboards. We are talking about illegal billboards. There are specifications for billboards. Those that are beyond the specifications are the ones we are talking about. So if you see some billboards, it doesn't mean that they are the ones we are talking about. But we are talking about the illegal billboards. And that is why we are calling them for a meeting sometime next week. If they do not, we can issue them with compliance notices. If they fail to abide by the compliance notices, then we sue them in court.
The National Road Safety Authority urged all stakeholders, including advertisers and local assemblies, to work together in complying with order to ensure safer road environments. To further improve road safety, the Road Safety Authority board reviewed ongoing efforts to collaborate with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority to introduce speed governance for all intercity transport. This measure aims to reduce speed limits and subsequently decrease the number of road crashes that have claimed many lives.
So we intend to collaborate with the DVLA because of the numerous accidents we have on our roads to introduce what is called speed governors. Some people call them speed limiters into intercity transport. So you're talking about the VIPs, you are talking about the GPRT, you are talking about all those vehicles, STC. So we want to ensure that all intercity transport puts or fix in their vehicles these speed governors to ensure that they don't overspeed.
We talk transport first now. The first pricing window for May 2025 saw marginal increments in the price of some petroleum products. The Institute for Energy Security has predicted fuel prices are expected to fall marginally from May 16, 2025. As of Monday, May 5, 2025, some OMCs adjusted their prices with petrol selling between 12.99 Ghana cedis and 13.79 Ghana cedis, and diesel selling between 13.99 Ghana cedis and 14.89 per litre. But the concerns among users of commercial vehicles is the cost of transport fares. Now we engage with Alhaji Abbas Ibrahim Moro, who is the Industrial Relations Officer for GPRTU. Abbas, thank you so much for your time. Commercial transport users are worried why you have not reduced fares to reflect recent price reductions.
Thank you for calling. Yes, you know, it is so fuel price has gone a little down, it has experienced some reduction. But we are not yet at where we have to reduce transport fares downwards. You know, we don't operate transport with only fuel when fuel prices went up. Other components went up as well. You can go around and check from Abosokan, from anywhere, that if the prices which went up in about 6 months or beyond has never been reduced. The answer is no. Lubricant, which went up, has ever been recently, in about 2 months ago. Prices of lubricants, even some of them went up. You see, so we look at all the components that we use in running transport before any upward adjustment or downward adjustment. So we are still pleading the general public. Yes, when fuel prices go, you don't even check how much has been increased. But when fuel prices decrease, there's noise all over that. Yes, fuel price has gone down by 2 times or 3 times. But yes, fuel price can go up by about 50 pesos on the liter.
Right.
The possibility of the next reduction is 10 pesos or 15 pesos. And if 10 pesos on 2 occasions or 15 pesos on 2 occasions, it's not even yet up to the increase. So we plead with them. We are mindful of where we are. We are also trying to make sure we all reset the country's economy. We are ready to help. If we haven't gotten to where we have to reduce the fuel prices, the lorry fares, we are pleading with the general public to bear with us.
Right, Abbas, that's well noted, but has GPRTU been called into a meeting by the Transport Minister to look into whether or not to reduce transport fares?
No, not at all. We are surprised to hear that from the Transport Minister. When he came, we went and visited him, and even the very day we went to his ministry, we said, oh, this is the first time. That was his 2nd or 3rd day in office. So we never discussed business with him. We went and we welcomed him to his new office. And I think the second time also, we never discussed anything in connection with the lorry fare reduction.
Right. We will definitely be connecting with you subsequently as it unfolds. Alhaji Abbas Ibrahim Moro is the Industrial Relations Officer of GPRTU.
Now, convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Dr. Engineer Kenashibe, has advised the current government against justifying its actions with the failures of the past administration. While speaking in relation to the asset declaration discussions on the key points, he noted that the research should be benchmarked to the best.
And so what we should be doing currently is to be sticking to the books. Otherwise, you see what our 1992 Constitution has brought us. Where it's brought us to. We've not gotten to where we should be getting to. Because we've been tolerating mediocrity all this while. Because, and especially the middle class have been very docile. We've converted, democracy just to mean we set 4 years and then, we allow a few of us now to go and, instead of governing us, be ruling over us and do anything they want. So it is important that we look at these things, and when the current president says he's doing a reset, then we should be doing an actual reset and ensuring that we're sticking to the books and not wanting to. You see, when you are 34%, you are an F, and you are comparing to a -4, and you think that your 34 is good, that is not an A. And we should be seeking to be doing an A. So in other situations, we should be saying that this is what the law says, and we're doing the law, but not go back and go and compare nobody. Yes, true. Nobody has done that in the past. And so, but that does not make you an A student. And for us, we should be seeking to do an A. And so for me, when I talk reset should be a proper reset, not a reset based on what, the former government did, which we all said was abysmal. So a typical example is when you then have a situation where, the president tells us about revocation when he was in, and now they come back and then we're attempting to do an amendment and we won't deal with that. And now when we come to do the conversation, I'll show you some of these things that are beginning to happen. Then we need to deal with, and it will take all of us as the citizens, where the sovereignty comes from, to insist that happens.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu has reiterated the need for the publication of all the assets that are declared by public officials. Speaking on the key points, he said this would ensure transparency in the asset declaration regime.
Of asset declaration. When we went to the IMF, civil society fought, Asa Nkuma, Mary, Ada, and Co, they fought, and it was made a conditionality. So as far as I'm aware, as we sit here, it's an IMF conditionality. And that's where my problem is with the IMF. This thing, it didn't start here, even from Europe. They had the same problem. So I was thinking that the IMF, because they come from America and Europe, look, America, they had that law in 1978, the Government Ethics Act. 1978, more than 46 years ago, you had this law. Europe, they had similar problems with corruption. If you read blah, 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 then they've improved. So they do asset declaration. So if you are doing an IMF deal and our civil society have fought that, let's do a new public code of conduct for public officers, blah, 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 you've put it in there. You should tie it to a certain disbursement. You just don't put it in. We've had 4 disbursements now, right? I think 4. No, they should have tied it that maybe by the 3rd disbursement. They should have tied it to a specific disbursement that by the time you are coming for the 3rd tranche, you must have passed that law.
Also on issues of governance, and Minister of Government Communication Felix Kwatiofosu says President John Dramani Mahama will, as promised, hold his appointees responsible for their actions as he has in the past. Speaking on the key points, he added that President Mahama is committed to enforcing standards.
When you compare it to the list that the original now submitted, you find that there were omissions. I'm sure they were inadvertent omissions. So we will reconcile all of that. And then we'll be certain of who has done what. Once that is done, you will see who has done what and who has not complied. And then the president will act in accordance with the deadline that he set. Yes.
The Executive Secretary of the National Interest Movement, Susan Edu Amankwa, has told President John Dramani Mahama to punish all the officials who fail to declare their assets. Speaking on the key point, she argues that the punishment will deter others from breaking the law.
The president must start the way he means to go.
Sure.
He must put his foot down. If he does this, other people will sit up when he says certain things. If he doesn't, when he says things, people will just say, oh, and move on, and it will be business as usual. If this is his legacy term, he should make sure he puts his foot down. He must do the right thing. When you do the right thing, you will never be found faulting. You understand? No matter whose ox is God, you definitely be vindicated when we are talking about you.
Now, the committee tasked by the Minister for Energy and Green Transition to investigate circumstances that led to the spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam in 2023 has found that lack of disaster preparedness plans affected the emergency response process. Now, this is contained in a 126-page report submitted to the Minister. The committee also found that the spillage was primarily caused by releasing approximately 8 million acre-feet volumes of water from the Akosombo Dam to prevent the dam's destruction due to the high reservoir water levels. Now, other contributing factors included unprecedented rainfall due to climate change and human activities exacerbating flood risks. It noted that while there were efforts to provide immediate assistance, poor interagency collaboration and communication gaps hindered response effectiveness. NADMO and MMDAs were also inadequately resourced and not fully prepared. It noted that breaching the dam could have resulted in a catastrophic chain of events in the country. Well, Dr. Nanaya Akwada is Executive Director and Chief of Party of the Bureau of Public Safety. Good afternoon, sir. Now, from the report, it is clear that the spillage exposed critical weaknesses in Ghana's disaster response system. What strikes you the most from these findings?
Good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
To your
right, we can hear you.
Yeah. Good afternoon to your viewers. I think before I go on to do any analysis on the report, I would like to commend the government because it's been a while since the government courageously released a report of such nature to the public. So I think that's very commendable, and we want to see more of that. I think it's one of the best ways that we can all help prevent disasters, avoid disasters, and hold people accountable, as well as track recommendations that come up and even understand the basis of recommendations when they are made after such disasters. Now, to your question,
right?
What strikes me most? I think as far as the terms of reference is concerned, the team did a good job. My takeaways, or what really strikes me out of this report, is the fact that what we knew, I mean, when the disaster occurred and we kept talking about it, has been confirmed in this report as that over time, the emergency preparedness efforts of all the agencies involved, lacked what we call the bit of engagement, the bit of local engagement, the bit of trying to synergize the efforts of all the agencies, state agencies involved. And that, if you like, catapulted, the worsening or impacted on the worsening humanitarian crisis that we saw. And if I were the head of the emergency preparedness unit, which would definitely come from the VRA, from today, that is one thing I would be working on, bringing together NADMO, bringing together the local authorities, engaging the indigents to make sure that we foster a really workable and well understood emergency preparedness document. That from time to time we will also be conducting drills to make sure everybody knows what to do, where to go, when to act when these things occur.
Right, now you've talked about what to do in terms of when such circumstances hit these areas, but what measures should be put in place or implemented to improve early warning systems for dam spillages and ensure that these communities are evacuated timeously?
Well, thank you. I think all the measures that we would have proposed for have been captured adequately in the 12 recommendations listed by the committee.
Right.
What I saw ostensibly missing was the use of AI and technology. Okay, I think that in 2025, when we want to implement any meaningful disaster risk reduction program, and it is missing, integrating technology and AI, we will be shortchanging ourselves. So from our end, we think that the VRA must install automated hydrological monitoring systems. I mean, we can install these real-time upstream and downstream to monitor water levels and trigger alerts. Okay, and trigger alerts. And such alerts, we could use SMSs, that's short messaging, WhatsApp, radios, and community sirens to ensure that we are able to disseminate warnings in multiple messages across board so that everybody is clear as to what has happened. I see that was missing. Two, I'm also looking at us creating and distributing flood risk maps with clear evacuation routes, among the communities. And these are no hard things to do. They are no rocket science. Creating these maps and distributing them across, the communities will help people know where to go, to understand where they live, the dangers that they are exposed to, or the risk that they are harboring by living where they live, and so they can learn to take some of these early warning systems or early warnings, more seriously than they used to.
Ryan, many thanks for your time. Dr. Nanayaw Akwada is Executive Director and Chief of Party of the Bureau of Public Safety. He has been speaking to us on the issues of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Godwin.
The first batch of Muslim pilgrims is set to depart today from the Yakubu Tale International Airport in Tamale for this year's Hajj pilgrimage. The pilgrims, drawn from various parts of the northern part of Ghana, have completed all pre-departure formalities, including medical screening and orientation on the Hajj process. Airport authorities and Hajj board officials were present at the terminal to ensure a smooth boarding process. This marks the beginning of Ghana's Hajj operations for the year, with subsequent batches expected to depart in the coming days. Christopher Amwako, who is our Northern Regional Correspondent, is joining me with details on this holiday. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. Has the first flight departed yet?
So, Godwin, the first flight is yet to depart from the Yakubu Tale International Airport here in Tamale. Even though the programs, the first batch of them, have gone through all the processes and are currently at the terminal waiting to board the aircraft that has been at the Tamale Airport since yesterday. The first batch were supposed to leave around 11:35 in the morning, but due to some delays, they are now boarding to depart from the airport.
Right. The Interior Minister was at the airport to bid farewell to the pilgrims. What exactly has he been saying?
Okay, so before that, Godwin, let me say that the first batch, some 425 of them are expected to take off from the Yakubu Tale International Airport. We have 6 batches. The first to the 5th batches, we have 425 each on each day. And the last batch, which is the 6th day, will have some 350 of them leaving the Tamale Yakubu Tale International Airport. Now, the Interior Minister has been speaking to the programs and urging them to go to the Holy Land and pray for Ghana as they will pray for themselves. He's also been talking about the fact that the NDC government under President John Dramani Mahama have reduced the Hajj fares, which is a good thing for the programs, and that urged them to go and pray for Mother Ghana. Let's take a listen to what he's been saying.
His Excellency Dr. Mahama's government started this terminal. Today, and during his tenure, we had the first opportunity to travel to Mecca from this terminal in Tamale. We are currently also building a similar terminal in Accra to facilitate the movement of pilgrims to the Holy Land. Additional government ensured that passports requirement and passport processing was made easier for pilgrims this year. The expectation of our government, especially to the Hajj Task Force, is to take good care of you whilst you are in the Holy Land. It is our hope that they will adhere to all the promises that they made to you and render very good services to all of you so that you don't have reasons to complain whilst you are in the Holy Land. The wish of government that when you get to the Holy Land, remember our country, pray for our country, pray for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for good health, wisdom and understanding to be able to govern, and all of us who are supporting him to make a huge difference in the life of the ordinary Ghanaians. It is our hope that we will continue to pray for our country, and we will continue to work very hard to improve the general economic condition of our country so that come next year, inshallah, many more people will have the opportunity to perform the Hajj pilgrimage. I'm delighted to know that this year we are sending the largest contingents for Hajj pilgrims ever in the history of our country. And this is a very good sign for us, and it is our prayer that this will continue. Government assures you of his support, even in Saudi Arabia. We are assuring you that if there's anything government will do to make sure that your travel and your program is made enjoyable, government is assuring you that we will do just that. Our prayer is that all of you get to perform hard and be able to come back home safely.
Allah takes them there safely. Christopher Mako is our Northern Regional correspondent.
In other news, Minister of Energy and Green Transition John Abdullahi Jinapor says the current challenges with the country's power sector will be resolved by the end of this month as maintenance works occur across plants in the country. Now, the latest, according to the minister, follows an emergency meeting with sector players following growing concerns over a possible return of load shedding. Now, speaking to TV3, John Jinapor stressed the need for urgent maintenance works postponed by the previous administration. He assured that the challenges would be resolved by the end of the month, insisting no load shedding will be happening.
And once again, let me assure consumers that whatever it takes, we will do that to ensure that we maintain the system and that eventually we are able to provide reliable supply of power. The future looks good. It may be quite difficult in the immediate term, but it is necessary. The last one has to do with some transmission systems. If you take the Volta region, for instance, for almost a year now, the whole system has been overloaded, and as demand keeps increasing, the voltages go so low. And so if you take Volta region, if you take the Sanada area, if you take the Bimbila area, if you take the Atibubu area, all those areas, their voltages are so bad, they virtually cannot use electricity. So we are putting a program together so that we go to cabinet and seek approval to see how we can enhance the system and put what we call some high tension cables and transformers to beef up reliable supply of power. But once again, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, it takes the mobilization of resources. We've inherited the system very weak, very fragile, but we have to make the best out of it, and that's exactly what we're doing.
On Mother's Day, we celebrate the selfless love, unwavering dedication, and boundless support of mothers everywhere. In this report, we explore the joys, struggles, and triumphs of motherhood, highlighting the remarkable women who inspire all of us. Right, so this is a story that we will be bringing to you subsequently. But happy Mother's Day to my mother, Amayabo, who is watching the news currently, Judith.
Right, and we're going to go for a very first break. You're still watching Weekend Central, of course.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow's Mother's Day. When is Mother's Day?
Yes, I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah.
What's your fondest memory when it comes to you and your mother?
Oh, my mom. Hey, I have to think about it.
Before we go.
I have to think about it. I'll tell you by the end of the program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to have a very first break. We'll be back with more news to stay with us.
Stay with us.
So much love in the air. What are we looking at?
Welcome back. You're still watching Weekend Central. Now, another news, security consultant and expert Colonel Festus Obwaje has called for transparency in the way and manner national security expenditures are conducted. Speaking on the key points regarding the letter from the embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahene, on how some monies were utilized, Colonel Festus Obwaje noted this will ensure that the public funds are not misused by public officers under the guise of national security. Kwabena Edubuahene has defended his innocence against allegations of financial impropriety.
2 days into the 10 days that the Supreme Court gave Mr. Domolevo to read the response from a senior minister, whether he was satisfied, he was sacked. A new Auditor General was appointed, who then went to the Supreme Court and said that from what he had seen, he was satisfied that there had been no wrong. Honorable Mr. Domolevo was asking the Supreme Court for an interpretation of Article 187 and its sub-clauses, which mandates the Auditor General to look at everything that is public account, including of institutions established by an act of parliament. Now here, Edubuahene's outfit, National Signals Bureau, was established by an act of parliament, 1040. And therefore, there is nothing in the act and not in the Constitution, 187, which precludes the Auditor General from seeing what it is that these monies have been spent on. And it's actually, I don't know, it undermines our national security, actually, that his wife was given security clearance, but not these other persons who needed to see the books. Third point is that if you look carefully, in 2020, a number of intelligence and security acts were passed, including the national, strategic plan. Now, against this backdrop, you begin to ask, was there an agenda to try to craft these instruments and then use that as a veneer to do things behind the scenes?
Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafubone has admonished newly qualified lawyers to exhibit humility, integrity and respect in their line of duty as they work to serve their communities and the country. 123 new lawyers have been called to the bar by the General Legal Council at a ceremony attended by the Attorney General, President of the Ghana Bar Association and other important dignitaries.
After years of preparations, 123 lawyers finally got their names enrolled. The newly called members, comprising 46 females and 77 males, add to the 779 who were called in October last year, bringing the total number to 902 for the 2024-2025 batch. Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafubone, while extolling their hard work, enjoined the new lawyers to put service at the fore of their duty. He admonished them to exhibit respect, integrity, and humility.
Ethics, on the other hand, guide your decision in challenging situations. There will be times when you face moral dilemmas or pressures that might tempt you to compromise your principles. In those situations, remember that your duty is not only to your client, but also to the integrity of the legal system. Upholding ethical standards fosters public confidence in the law.
Some of the newly called lawyers shared their sentiments.
He said we should participate in willful pro bono, which is part of our duties. So whenever I'm called upon to do, I'm ever ready to help.
If there need be, and we see some of our friends, some of our mothers, our fathers who need our help, and we have the ability to do that, why not? We always help them.
Humility, diligence, and intelligence. The three things I mentioned are very monumental in practice as a solicitor. So those are three things I'll certainly take into practice.
For some of us, the sense of fairness and justice is what has led us into this profession. So I wouldn't be bothered at all taking up cases pro bono. to be able to help the underserved and the less privileged people in our society.
Away from that, founder of the African University of Communications and Business, Kojo Yankah, has reiterated the need for public relations professionals to enhance their communication skills to reflect the African context. He was speaking at the second edition of the PR Legends Night in Accra.
The PR Legends Night program was designed to provide a platform for participants and practicing PR professionals to tap into the knowledge and rich experiences of senior colleagues in the profession. The night was to celebrate individuals whose work has significantly shaped the growth and direction of the PR industry in Ghana. The second edition of PR Legends Night was held in honor of Kojo Yankah, an FPIR professional and founder of the African University College of Communications and Business. Taking his turn at the event, Kojo Yankah emphasized the need for PR practitioners to identify communication gaps with their clients and design clear strategies tailored to client needs, brand enhancement, and cultural relevance.
We assume that everybody speaks English, but if we do not speak local language and we think that we are reaching the hearts and minds of the people, we've got to be careful. Particularly also for people who are here. If you do not understand the languages of the two sides, for example, if you have to bridge a gap, or you have a client whose language you do not understand, what do you do? Now you are comfortable with English, but are you sure you are communicating well?
He also underscored the importance of reconnecting with African roots, encouraging Ghanaians and Africans at large to embrace their customs and traditions as a foundation for authentic communication.
It is time we question our own understanding of our profession. Indeed, all professions, and enrich it from an African point of view. PR is more African-based than we have been made to study, because the textbooks we have been used to are books written by people from a European standpoint, and we have swallowed everything. I'm saying that IPR and APRA in Africa should start challenging this notion by researching into what we have.
The ceremony also saw the launch of the IPR Ghana Mentorship Program, aimed at grooming the next generation of PR professionals through guidance from industry veterans.
What we are doing is mentorship that will provide career coaching, practical problem solving. So allow yourself to learn the practical stuff.
The night served not only as a celebration of Kojo Yankah's outstanding contribution to the profession, but also as a call to action for the PR community in Ghana to redefine its strategies through cultural authenticity and mentorship. As the industry evolves, thought leadership and indigenous values remain essential in shaping a truly African public relations identity.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, says Cabinet has approved a decision to stop renting accommodation in foreign countries to be used as missions. According to the Minister, Ghana spent over $15 million on property rentals annually when outright purchases would have been more cost-effective. He made this and other revelations at the swearing-in of the Management Advisory Board of the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
The Foreign Affairs Minister noted that other major reforms are in the pipeline to be rolled out for a more efficient ministry. He said current global trends and geopolitical tensions call for the experience of an advisory board, which is most needed to navigate the uncertainties of modern diplomacy.
I am also pleased to inform you that Cabinet has only a few days ago granted approval for the ministry's 4-year strategic transition from renting to infrastructure development STRIDE initiative. This STRIDE initiative is a very important one. I discovered from the handing over notes that we are spending $15 million every year on rent. There are many countries that we don't own any property at all. I was in Turkey a couple of weeks back, and we don't own a single. The chancellery is rented. All the residential accommodation of our foreign service officials are all rented. In Sierra Leone a few days ago, the same situation. And if you look at how much we are spending on rent, if we were investing that in owning properties, it will have made sense.
He said he will be working closely upon the advice of the board to make the ministry result-oriented and people-centered for effective leadership in the interest of the country.
As Ghana continues to assert herself on the regional and global stage, the ministry's responsibilities are becoming increasingly multifaceted, demanding insightful policy direction, proactive engagement, and institutional adaptability. Your perspectives and guidance as members of this board will serve as a compass in navigating these evolving complexities and will undoubtedly enrich the ministry's policy outcomes, enhance accountability, and promote more inclusive governance. And I must add that if there is any time in our geopolitics that we need a formidable ministerial advisory board in world affairs, it is this time.
A member of the board and former Foreign Affairs Minister, Professor Kwame Ahoy, expressed gratitude for the confidence reposed in them by government and pledged their availability to assist the ministry succeed.
Mr. Minister, whenever there is government change, there is always policy change, but there is never a change in the national interest. So those of us gathered here in the Ministerial Advisory Board are very well advised that there are certain matters that are of national interest and which must guide us all the time, irrespective of the government that is in power. And it will be important for us, maybe at some point, to try to identify what these national interests are.
We are going for another break, but when we return, we will be talking about the TGMAs and also the MVCAs as well. Who do you think will be winning the Artist of the Year tonight? Let's get interactive on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. See you soon.
Welcome back. You're still watching Weekend Central. Now, the Northeast Region Security Council has urged victims of conflict in Nanik, located in the Bunkurubu and Napanduru district of the to return to their homes. Now, this comes as the Regional Security Council, led by Minister Ibrahim Tia, works tirelessly to foster unity between the two factions involved.
In recent months, the conflict between the communities of Nanek and Bimbango has escalated dramatically, stemming from a contentious decision to promote the chief of Nanek to a paramountcy. This promotion ignited tensions that culminated in a violent attack on Nanek, resulting in the tragic loss of more than 4 lives, including a teacher burned to death. The attack not only claimed lives, but also led to widespread destruction, with food stock and numerous properties destroyed. The Northeast Region Security Council has taken proactive measures to address the needs of the affected residents of Nanek. The minister emphasized the urgent need for peace and the return of displaced families to their original homes.
Let us try, no matter the situation, to see how we can live in harmony and try to always escalate the arbitration processes to see how we can resolve issues. And I think that would be the best way for us to go than always the gun battle. We are pleading. It's retarding our progress and our development.
As the farming season approaches, Minister Tia announced plans for the deployment of additional security personnel to ensure the safety of residents.
Any little information that we will receive that can resolve this issue, our doors are welcomed. The DC is there, the MP is there. When we pass the information to him, it will get to us and we'll see how we can contain this issue on the ground so that the escalations will never come again. And that is our prayer. We are going to engage all stakeholders, all the chiefs around here, including the overlord, will be engaging him so that we find a lasting solution to this problem.
Adding to the commitment to security, the regional police commander, DCOP Shaibu, assured the community and its surroundings that security measures are robust.
When they occurred, we were not able to marshal effort to bring police to be stationary in the community as we have done this time. We have about 17 or so policemen together with those who are also around beside the road. And we want to assure them that they have to come back. They must come back. The police who have been posted here for the operational purposes are here to protect them.
In a gesture of solidarity and support, the delegation also delivered over 400 bags of maize to the Nanek community, aimed at alleviating immediate food shortages and assisting families in rebuilding their lives.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Victor Asare Bampo, has reaffirmed the authority's commitment to strengthen healthcare delivery and enhance the National Health Insurance Scheme. The NHIA CEO was in the Bono East region to assess the operational challenges faced by healthcare providers.
In Teachman Central Business Districts, I met Chopel Daniel, affectionately known as Dr. H2O. The 20-year-old is a level 500 student of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, pursuing a Doctor of Optometry degree, selling pure water in the market. What sets him apart from other vendors is his unique appearance and approach to serving customers with a plate, showcasing his professionalism and respect for customers. Despite initial teasing from friends that made him shy, Daniel's determination to support his parents in funding his education and ease financial burden on them kept him going. Every sale motivated Daniel to continue, enabling him to purchase university admission forms and pursue his dreams.
This is what I've been doing to support my parents in the house since 2019.
Right, so at this point is where we get to talk entertainment, and this time around, I'm sure that the Accra International Conference Center is booming with preparations and also building momentum and anticipation for tonight, because the TGMAs will be happening, and our very own Nashoko together with AJ Sapong will be gracing the stage.
Is doing the most, you know.
And you know what? Quite a number of people have been battling on social media. A lot of tongues wagging as to who will be winning the Artist of the Year. But
same question on my mind.
Absolutely. Who do you think will be winning, by the way?
Who are the contestants, by the way? Stoneboy, King Promise, and then who's the last person?
Black Sherif is also in there. But
Black Sherif's album there has been doing a lot. I think. I don't know. I think he deserves it, probably.
And what is actually of much concern to me is what a lot of people will be wearing on the red carpet tonight.
Yes.
Because Bless King and Regina Van Helvet, who is also our very own here at Media General, will be gracing the red carpet.
Beautiful.
And I am looking out for what they are going to be wearing because as a red carpet host, they need to appear looking really radiant, vibrant, and come with style. So that when the people come on the red carpet, they will be able to speak to them well and also critique what they are wearing.
The critiques will really be critiquing this time.
Absolutely. For the past years, quite a number of people who appear on the red carpet, especially here in Ghana, has nothing good to write home about, if I should say. Yesterday, for instance, was the cultural day for the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards in Nigeria. And you should see how most of them came out to represent the country.
They are not playing.
And this is clashing with the VGMAs. And a lot of people have also been, you know, talking on social media about that as to which program is going to be trending on social media, which program is going to win the hearts or the eyeballs of the people. And I don't know, this is just my opinion, but Nigeria keeps doing it all the time when it comes to slaying on the red carpet. And I'm just hoping that Ghanaians will be able to up their game this time around so that they will also be talked about more on social media, because it doesn't only just sell the music, but then it also puts us on the map somewhere. So we are going to be glued on our set. Are you going to be attending?
Oh, no, I'm not attending.
Why?
I'm just going to be watching.
Because your fans would want to see Judith Brown. That's Nigeria.
Will you be attending?
That's Nigeria yesterday, for instance.
They are not joking.
Yes, a Big Brother contestant. And yesterday, they actually showed up looking clean. Just imagine a Ghanaian, let's say a cultural day, which celebrity is going to come out looking like this good?
I love the way they showcase their culture.
Yes,
I mean, they're really good at doing that
when it comes to stepping out, and this is just
massive.
So good. This is so good. But then, like I said, we are looking out for what the Ghanaians will be doing tonight, especially the ladies. I'm hoping that most of them, especially the men, wouldn't come on the red carpet wearing kaftans like what I'm wearing. You need to make a statement. With your look.
Really do. You really do. And we need to showcase more of our culture, just like Nigerians are doing. I've realized that they always show up showcasing their culture in every great style they can. And I think we should, do that as well here in Ghana and respect the red carpet a bit more. Sometimes the joking and the jokes are too much.
You know what?
Sometimes.
I just saw a video on Nana Ekuyado's Instagram page, and there's this truck carrying her costume that she's taking to the AMVCA. So she is actually not really attending the TGMA. She's going all the way to Nigeria because that's where the buzz is. Last year, she wore this AI outfit, if I should say.
I remember
it had this symbolic look that created a lot of buzz and conversations. But looking at what the lady is posting on her social media today, then it looks like she's up to something new again, and people will definitely be talking about her.
I can't wait to see.
Everything is going to be happening here on TV3.
Yes.
Ladies Circle, Adjo Nuela, Helen Apia Ampofo, and Taya of GMB will be hosting Ladies Circle. So tonight, just make sure that you keep your station or your dial locked here on TV3, as we'll be bringing you the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything you need to know about the VGMA.
Now TGMA. Well, my name is Judith Brown. I've been doing this with.
My name is Godwig Asideba, and happy Mother's Day again to my beautiful mother, Amayawa, who's watching the news currently.
And my beautiful mother, Evelyn, our Chitando. We love you so much.
See you.
Bye-bye.